that you're able to come back into... Thank you very much, everybody, for arranging yourselves in such a way that you're able to come back in and be ready for the commencement of the AGM. I hope that you have had time to do what you need to do to refill and empty as required, and that you are ready to participate in the meeting. Ninamani, welcome to this important part of our lives together in the church. We have already acknowledged the Kaurna people and the One Nation peoples of everywhere in Australia this morning as part of our worship. But as part of the business that we conduct today, we should continue to be reminded or be mindful of the care and stewardship of this land that has been undertaken for millennia by the people who first inhabited this place. Now, I already have a number of apologies. If, however, you have others, could you please let Craig know at the end of the meeting so that their names can be recorded. Sharon is making a list and probably checking it twice to make sure that she has all of those people who've attended today. Remember, please, that if you have not ticked or paid or intending to, if you've not ticked or put your name down for the lunch afterwards, I'm prepared to have less if you would like to have some. So please make sure that you if you can, please come. Now the agenda has been prepared and has been promulgated through various means. Can I see... Oh, before I do that, just a reminder, there are 3 cards. The orange card indicates that you are warm to an idea, a statement or a proposal. The yellow card means that you've got a question that you'd like to ask for clarification, that you think you don't quite understand exactly what's going on. And the blue card is there to indicate that you're cool to the idea and would like, and we use that as a way of finding out where we are as a body in the discernment process. Orange, yellow, blue, warm, question, cool. Please use them as you are able. The other thing that is very important is because we are joined by our wider community, that shares with us over the internet, it is really important that if you rise to speak, that you wait for a microphone to be put into your hand. If you don't do that, then you will not be heard, not only by those who are deaf within the church, but also definitely by those who are listening online. Please wait until the microphone comes to you. Any questions about that? Okay, let's go. Can I see your warmth or otherwise at receiving the draft agenda as our way forward this morning? We have consensus? Yes, we have consensus. The next item on the agenda is the minutes. The minutes have been distributed electronically and have been available in print. They are a fulsome record of our last meeting. Thank you, Craig. Are there any questions, comments or concerns that come as a consequence of your reading of the minutes? Remember, a yellow card for questions. No yellow cards. In that case, can I see your warmth or otherwise at receiving these minutes into the record of our congregation? We have consensus? Yes, we have consensus. Thank you very much, everybody. The next item on the agenda is Minister's Report. Now, I will get Anne to speak, and then I will talk about something that is pretty important for us all, but won't impact on us.
I have a written copy, so...
Thank you.
The last 11 months have come and gone, and now I'm a fixture here at Morialta, part of the furniture. We have been well served by a huge backup and backroom team. People have been willing to share their faith in writing or finding prayers, reading the scriptures, playing music and singing, preparing the elements for communion, and arranging real and imagined flowers. It goes without saying our virtual congregation, up to 100 views per week, could not happen without the dedication of the AV team, so I won't mention it. Those who give the instructions as well as those who follow them. I believe we're producing something that renews the spirit and provides connection with those who can no longer attend on Sunday morning, and I hope that my contribution in word and sacrament lives up to the high standard. Many of you have made trips to hospital, seen specialists, and had accidents. Our pastoral team keeps me informed when they have been informed. Please note that clairvoyance is not one of the gifts of the Holy Spirit. If you want to keep your information private, we will respect that. But a problem shared is a problem halved. Procedure is the usual catch-all term. You go off for a procedure and you don't have to tell us where it is, though sometimes we make a guess. Please alert me or any of the team to allow us to pray for your situation. I try to keep up with hospital visits, but sometimes your stay in hospital is so short, I can't make it in time. I hate arriving the day after you've left. Feel free to ring me if you need to hear a friendly voice, although early morning could be a bit of a struggle to keep it friendly. In Advent and Lent, we tried bringing electronics to our daily devotions. Over 30 people participated hearing the stories, and many of you volunteered to read the good news associated with the Iona community based in Scotland. In Lent, the sometimes badly scanned reflections of Walter Brueggemann provided us with the daily reminder that we are on a way not of our own choosing, taking seriously the call of Jesus on our lives. We continue the road or journey imagery, which we began in Advent, now in the season of Easter. Now, some years ago, you changed the name of the hall, instead of Church Hall, to Morialta Community Centre. What a brilliant idea. And I know you've developed the slogan, more than just Sunday. I've been focusing on making that fit a little bit better than it does at the moment. We can all blame COVID, but we've not been as outreachy as we could be. Our community outreach can't be just hiring the hall to outside groups. So I believe that the great community we experience on Sunday is our greatest gift to people who live in this area. If I call them community, you'll get confused, okay? Community, area, how's that? Where am I? Community Day on Wednesdays, as well as Tuesday Open Church, we open ourselves to those who would not venture into a Sunday worship. So far, we're increasing the numbers of people turning up each week to share with myself and June. but we would love to see you for lunch and a chat, perhaps some table games or crafts. If I lived in the Manse, I could invite you to come and have lunch with us, but I live a long way away, so you have to come and have lunch with me here. Okay? It's an invitation. Do come. So far, we're increasing the numbers of people turning up each week to share, but we would love to see you. I've read that bit already. There we go. It's still true.
It's important, so...
Yeah. If you have something you could teach or share once a month, I would love to hear from you. Are you a whiz at canaster? Would you like to teach it? How about LED lighting? You know, it doesn't need to be something simple, it can be complex. Is there something that you know how to do that you would love to share with other people, that we can advertise? We're not advertising it because we need to build up a reasonable community ourselves before we open up to people of the area. Right. Our Wednesday worship once a month meets a need with some of our older community. It's at 2:00 in the afternoon. Now, that isn't an issue for you young people who are here, but some of our people have trouble making it for 10 o'clock. Can you believe that? I know. Well done to you for making it, but let's not forget those people for whom it's too difficult. Let's make a time in the afternoon for them to come and worship, and we're doing it on Wednesdays, once a month, not every Wednesday. Right, I'm hoping that will blossom. We may even get a new congregation meeting once a month on a Wednesday afternoon. I have appreciated your faith in me as minister of the word, but now I want you to experience my faith in you as a community with something worthwhile to share. If you can spare some time on Wednesdays, even once a month, my invitation to you is come and join me for lunch, because we are more than just Sundays. I'm bringing up an issue of my time. Currently, I am full-time with you. If I was less than full-time, it would enable me to do some of the things I've been putting off until my retirement. Because some of you will know I'm now of retirement age. Even Centrelink recognises I'm old enough. I may continue on a bit longer, but I'd like some more time. Thank you.
Anne, thank you very much. I don't think that there are any questions that you might have from that. It was a very full report that described the benefits that we are receiving from Anne's placement with us. But is there anybody who has a question that they would like to ask of Anne? Thank you very much. Now, as Anne alluded to in her the last part of her report, she and Council have been in discussions about how best it might be for Anne and for Morialta to share in ministry together. Anne, as she has indicated, is a young retirement age person, but there are things that she and June would like to do. She has proposed, and Council has endorsed, the idea that Anne's full-time equivalence will change from 1.0 to 0.9 from the 1st of June, or as is most convenient. This will mean that Anne's stipend will continue to be paid throughout the 52 weeks of the year at 0.9, but that for 4 weeks of the year, Anne will be able to take that as unpaid leave so that she is able to explore the activities that she has identified already. It will have no impact on the community or the congregation, because we will find, and there will be, ministers and preachers who will undertake the roles on Sunday that Anne would normally do. And during the weeks that Anne is on unpaid leave, the same arrangements will be made as if she were on paid leave. We think that this is an excellent way of listening to and assisting Anne as she continues to be a very important part of our community. And I hope that you will endorse this. Before I ask for your warmth or otherwise, are there any questions that you have? In that case, in the absence of questions, can I ask you to indicate your warmth or otherwise at endorsing the decision of Church Council and Anne? We have consensus? Yes, we have consensus. Thank you very much. Thank you. The annual report, or Chairperson's musings, has been available for you to read. It is not an annual report in the same or in the conventional or old-fashioned form of annual report, because we do have two excellent, well, actually we have a number of excellent mediums to use to share information. We've got the Vision, which is a monthly publication, which is excellently prepared by Colin Cargill and Helena Begg. We've got the newsletter, which is the week-by-week information that reminds us of the activities that are part of our congregation. We have the very up-to-date website, which provides current details, and it provides historical detail about things that have happened in recent and more distant times. And of course, for those who use Facebook, we've got Facebook. As I said at the beginning, and as I say in my musings, it is not meant that the report is going to cover every dot and jot of activity, but it is a way of reminding us of the things that we do within our community to increase mission, provide opportunities for worship, and undertake the pastoral care of our community. Are there any questions or comments that anybody would like to make at this time about the annual report?
No questions.
Goodness me. So, no, I was going to say I wasted all that. No, I didn't waste all that time. I'm glad that you don't have any questions, but please, if you've got any concerns, as always, please, you've got my phone number, and fortunately I'm able to come pretty regularly to the church. If you want to say something, if you've got any concerns, please, please, please let us know. Moving on, elections. The appointment of scrutineers is an important part of the election process. I have previously asked Judith Perling and Margaret Clogg if they would be prepared to act in that important role. They have indicated their willingness to, but I'm asking you as a point of process to show your warmth or otherwise at accepting that proposal. We have consensus? Yes, we have consensus. Now, there are no... Every person named on the ballot is eligible for appointment. However, we do need to undertake an election, because one of the processes, one of the points that we have agreed to in the past is that all people seeking election must have at least 75% of the vote. So it is important for you to indicate your willingness by a tick or a cross in the appropriate box to support the election of those people. If you don't want to, that's fine. That's fine. Before you do that, however, and as a consequence of Church Council's decisions, I'd like to present you with the wording of a proposal that Church Council adopted. It's up there on the screen. Good governance requires us to undertake and make sure that our leaders and the decisions we make are made by people who are skilled in the area, who have the gifts and are able to give the time. It doesn't mean, however, that once you're elected, you're there for life. This proposal is a way of identifying the fact that there are likely to be many people within our congregation and our church council and other bodies who have got the skills and abilities. And so what we've tried to do is to exercise good governance by limiting the tenure of leadership positions. And you'll see that the word normally is in there. It will not be the case that our decision-making processes and our governance processes will be impacted by the lack of new people if they're not able to be identified. So please be sure that this new proposal does not change the way that we will, and the efficiency with which, hopefully, we will explore our mission and our worship and our pastoral care as required by the regulations of the Uniting Church. Are there any questions about what you read there?
One question.
Yes. John Thornton, please, could you wait for the microphone to come?
I have a microphone.
Thank you.
Looking around, none of us are in the first flush of youth, and the numbers of people who are prepared to come forward are perhaps less than you would have wished. Isn't this an unnecessary complication?
I think that I don't think it's a complication. I think that basically what we're trying to do is to set into practice a governance process that is observed by other boards. The church is more than an organisation that is governed by boards, although Church Council does have many of the responsibilities of boards. This is a way of identifying to those who take on leadership roles that they're not there forever, if they don't want to be, and that indeed, once they have exercised their leadership for a period of time, then there's generally or normally a mandatory time of relaxation. But I mean, this is not meant to be a complicating factor. It's not meant to. It's not meant to make things more difficult. It's meant to explore and give people the opportunity to exercise their gifts and graces in a more appropriate way. Is that okay, John? Okay. Any other questions? Steve?
Maybe it's a bit of a riff on that. It still seems to me unnecessary in that if we don't want people to be on church council, we've got a mechanism for doing that. Don't vote for them. People have got a mechanism for not staying on church council if they don't want to. They can just resign and not stand again. So I don't really quite see the point. I do see the point in wanting people to think about taking on these roles, etc. But it just seems a bit unnecessary because all of those issues can be dealt with by our current system.
Thank you, Steve. I guess one of the things that we need to recognise is that this is a proposal that was discerned by Church Council as a good way forward, it comes as a to you for information. Can I say that Church Council members perhaps have heard those two comments, and that's I think that's always an important thing for us to be able to remind ourselves that while we have 5 councils within the church, each council relates to the other. So I think that with both John and Steve's comments, I think the members of Church Council who are here have heard that. Is that okay with you, Steve, for us to take that and discuss that back in Church Council? Thank you. A blue card. Who's? Rob. Yes, Rob. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to endorse the proposal. It seems to me that with our church, office holders tend to get fixed in time, and we do need desperately to have a turnover of people so that the sense of ownership will be shared by everybody most of the time.
Thanks for that. Another blue card. Helen?
I'd like to support the proposal. I think we have nothing to lose, and it does give people the opportunity to have a rest from a strong leadership position and the opportunity for someone else to come into that position. And if that doesn't happen, well, it can continue as is.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Anyway, as I say, I just thought that Council thought that it was important for you to have this information. Yes? Who? John Drew.
I just want to be a bit pedantic and recommend that we change the proposal from being March, April to May.
Oh, thank you.
To make it legal.
That text comes from the minutes of the meeting at which the decision was made, and at that time we thought that in the normal run of things that our meeting, our AGM would be in April or March. But thank you very much. We can't change the minutes of the meeting, but we can say that this will take place from now. Thank you. Thanks very much. Okay, well, that's information. If you've been listening and haven't had a chance to fill in your ballots, could I please, in the absence of any further comments or questions? Yes? Well, okay. Can I see your warmth or otherwise at receiving this proposal from Church Council? Now, there are 2 blue cards. Have you got anything further to add to this discussion? Yes, Christine Garner, thank you.
I'm not putting a red card up because I'm still undecided. It's not that I want to say anything.
Okay. And there was another blue card. Would you like to say anything further or add anything to the... Yes, John. Yep. Okay. Can I ask those who've got their blue cards up, if you think your points have been heard and that you don't want to add any more to the discussion, can I ask if you would be prepared to put your blue cards down in order that the meeting might record consensus? Can I ask again? Could I ask you to show your orange cards in order that we might record consensus? Okay, we have consensus. Yes, we have consensus. Thank you very much. Okay, please fill in your ballots as you would like, and the scrutineers, if you can pass your ballots folded to the aisle seat of the... Pardon?
Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody who has not been able to fill in a ballot paper? Is there anybody who has not had their ballot paper collected? The scrutineers will retire to determine the result, and while we wait for their return, we have other important items to consider. The first of which is information about upcoming events in the life of our church. Colin, would you like to come to the lectern and share with us details of that?
Thanks, Bruce. there is a list of all of the proposed events that we have planned for this year, and you can see that the first one is only 2 weeks away, the 17th of May. So we would urge you to buy your tickets. I think those of you who did come last year, we got very positive feedback, which is why we invited Lee again. And he and Martin are a good combination, and their range of the music that they will provide is quite good. And as many of you know, of course, Lee was part of Morialta way back when most of us were relatively younger. The others, the next concert, which is not too far away, is Harp to Harp, but unfortunately that is only going to be harp, because one of the harpers, Emma Horwood, is ill, and so Vinja will do it. And she's promised me, though, rather than just bringing a harp, she's going to bring a number of other instruments. And if you have heard this group, they are really amazing. Margaret and I have had the opportunity of going to some of their concerts, and they do provide a brilliant afternoon of music, I can assure you. The other events, as you can see, you need to put in your diary, and if I can have the next slide. These are some of the ways, and we've mentioned these before, that the team, there are only 4 of us, and we really can't do everything. And so we certainly need your support. And one way, if you have Facebook, is posting the flyer, one of the flyers which are available from the office, on your Facebook, so that all your friends know it's happening. And also to tell your friends, and even take a flyer which will be available from this week, and distribute them. And also distribute them to your neighbours, and we'll be putting them in local shopping centres. We also require volunteers to cook for the afternoon tea, to help serve afternoon tea, and to sell raffle tickets on the day. And I think after the last time we were selling raffle tickets, with Pauline and Doreen selling them, I think that assures me that anybody can sit down, and that's not derogatory, that's just that, we are all maybe slightly disabled, but we can sell raffle tickets. So, and volunteers for setting up and packing up the church, and if you want to, run a pop-up stall. And if you talk to Carol or Helen or Judith about that, and buy tickets. So really, that's all I've got to say, just to plead for your support. And after all, these are raising funds for Morialta, as well as being an entertaining afternoon. Thanks. Or if there are any questions.
Yeah. Remember the yellow card if you've got any questions. I think that was pretty clear, Colin. Thank you very much. Make sure you put the events in your diary so that you can, they don't come as a surprise for you. We rely heavily on you to resource our mission. But we also rely on our finance team and our treasurer to report on that. In what will be her last report, can I ask Carol to come to the lectern and share with us the state of our finances?
Thank you, Bruce. We're just presenting the accounts for 2025. There are slides up on the monitors if you would like to follow through. I'll go through the items and then call for questions at the end at various times. So we're looking, of course, obviously, at the profit and loss statement that we receive monthly, and we concentrate firstly on the giving, electronic giving, loose giving, and the electronic giving. So our income for those three, and the student accommodation, as we know, student accommodation is an extremely important part of the mission of this church, and has been so for 20-something years, I think, isn't it, Anne? 20, at least that. And of course, they are a huge contributor to the finances of this church. The hire of the facilities is also one of the things that we should be proud of here. Apart from the student accommodation, our facilities are used by many groups, sporting groups, yoga, Tai Chi, and of course our partnership with the Dawoodi Bora, and the hire of the AV equipment. So the total for those, I don't know, I haven't totaled that. It's a mistake, isn't it? Oh, the outgoing treasurer's making mistakes, folks. So we'll just move on to the rest of the income. The rent of the manse, as you know, the manse has been rented out for some time now because our ministers have not required the manse for themselves. Fundraising, another important part of our church here. And the fundraising, our markets have been huge contributors to that fundraising over the years, along with the fundraising events that we hold with music and so on. So that was actually our budget for last year for fundraising was $8,000, and the total we ended up with was $21,000. And of course that is sometimes a lot of effort by the members of this church, particularly when we're doing the markets. Hospitality, the income there for the hospitality you will see later in the expenses is set off. The expenses are set off against the income, so you'll see an expense line for hospitality as well. Interest received, that is obviously on the investments we have with UC Invest, and I can tell you that just recently our interest rates went up 0.25%. The community centre, that is for all of the activities that take place here, the Tai Chi, all of those activities. And the Japanese playgroup, which is also a very good outreach here. They can have up to, at the playgroup, they can have up to 15 to 20 children there at times. So that is, even though we don't see them, they are still an important part of this church. Now the donations have been made by various peoples, and the $12,000 that's been through December was received from catering for funerals, donations from the Kimber Uniting Church, the McGill Community Garden, and the Ross Trevor Campbelltown Kiwanis Club, and the Morialta Netball Club. And so those donations have come from those areas. We also received a volunteers grant for $2,500 from UC Synod to assist with the purchase of a projector for the hall. And we also received a $3,000 grant from the Synod for the Renew grant, which was used for the children's program last Thursday. So the grants have also played an important part of our outreach here as well. So I'll just go through now our total budget for 2021 for income was $21,300. The actual figures for that period, $277,461. And that leads us to a $56,151 surplus as far as the income's concerned. Do we have any questions on any of the items in the income? Appears not. Thank you. So we shall move on to the expenses. And I'll just move down them. Community centre, as I explained, is not only the Japanese playgroup, but also the other groups that use the church. Pastoral care, hospitality, once again, the figure there showing there, the expenses is offset against the income. And social justice, $523, that was, and the term won't come to me, Colin, but it was used to offset our carbon footprint here for all of our travel to and from the church. Right. And that's an annual. That will be an annual thing that you'll be contributing to. The worship and faith ed, obviously, that is for any equipment that they might be needed, any resources. Audio-visual, we did part of the audio-visual agreements we have here, and their budget is to consistently have our equipment upgraded. And the Mission and Service Fund, as you know, that we are obligated every year to contribute 10% of our income for the Mission and Service Fund, 2% of our income for the Wimmera Presbytery, and 0.01 something or other for the redress scheme. And as you know, the redress scheme is for down the track should the Uniting Church have any person's claim against them for abuses in the past. Stipend and allowance, that is obviously to cover our minister, our very welcome minister. Office coordinator is for Nicole, who does a very good job keeping our office running and catering to all the needs of the church council members and anybody else that comes in and says, "Hey, Nicole, can you do this?" So she is very obliging. Accounting and audit fees are exactly what they say. It's a monthly accounting fee from the bookkeeping unit for processing our accounts and the audit of those accounts. Office expenses is self-explanatory. Sundry expenses, sundry expenses is a very handy account to have because if I don't quite know what to do with something, I'll put it in sundry expenses. Computers and IT, I think we did buy a new computer for somebody, can't remember. And finance and fundraising.
Yes.
Sorry? I can't hear you.
We split the proceeds with the performers who participate in our event.
Thank you, Bruce. Yes, all of the events we raise, our agreement with most of the people who are putting on the events here is that we share the proceeds of that particular event 50-50. Thank you for reminding me of that. And if we move to the properties, we have the 3 properties. This church, 26 Chapel Street, our maintenance have increased substantially this year because we've had to have quite a bit of work done around the church. Chris Ailes will be able to elaborate on that, won't you, Chris? Thank you. Capital purchases, it was part of the payment for the batteries that were installed here, and the final payment of that, I think, is still yet to come. We're waiting on the final payment for the second battery for the church, the buildings next door. Cleaning and materials is quite self-explanatory, and the insurance excess, we did have one insurance claim, and the excess for that was $3,000. And at the Highland Avenue manse, the same thing there. The rates and utilities and telephone, only $5,500 because we didn't have to carry out very much maintenance on the manse at all. The manse management fees, they go to Boffo Real Estate, who manage that property for us. And the insurance was not put into the budget. It was paid, but it hadn't been put into the budget. If we move to the 24 Chapel Street properties, the rates, internet and so on there, $14,000. gas and electricity 5,000, and once again the insurance was not put into the budget. So our total expenses, our total budget for expenses was 251,740, and the total actual figures 282,919. So that left us in deficit there in excess of 31,179. Are there any queries, questions on any of the expenditure items, please? No, thank you. So in summary, for the profit and loss of the budget analysis, our budgeted deficit for the year was 30,440. Our actual income, our actual was 5,458 in deficit, and that actually left us a surplus of $24,982. So that was a great year, and a huge amount of thanks for that goes to every member of this congregation for giving what they give and helping where they help. So Bruce, that's the accounts for 2025.
Thank you. Thanks.
Beverly has
Yes, a question. Can we wait for the microphone, please?
Yes, thank you. Carol, what do we do with our surplus?
Well, Beverly. At the end of every of our financial year, which is January, December, at the end of every year, all accounts in the profit and loss go back to zero. So on the 1st of January every year, all the income and all the expenses accounts start at zero. So that surplus there is incorporated into the accounts for 2025. But the money itself is either in our bank account or UC Invest accounts. Is that clear enough? Yes. Okay, I'm glad. I've never been asked that one before. No other questions?
Not here either.
No other questions.
Any other questions?
Now, the balance sheet items, I think I put that on the bottom of that report, did I? No, the balance sheet items, we showed that the balance sheet, as I've explained before, is what our total assets and total liabilities, and then our total equity at the end of that period. So our total assets for 2025 were 275,739. Our total liabilities at the 31st of December were 6,161, and that's made up of GST that we might need to pay out, and other liabilities such as the student accommodation bonds we are holding, and also any amounts we are holding which could be for Christmas Bowl, Lenten Appeal, or any of those other Uniting World appeals that we might have. That money has to be paid out, and therefore it is still a liability to the church. And that's the same with the long service leave provision and annual leave provision. So our current, as of December, our total equity was $269,758. Doesn't agree.
Okay. Questions?
Just ignore that one. I'm sorry, just ignore that one. That's our position at the 31st of March this year. I'm looking at the wrong papers.
Right.
I haven't got a summary for the balance sheet for 2025. Sorry, Bruce.
That's okay. If you would like further information, please speak to me or speak to me, and we'll get the information to you. Is that all right, Carol?
That's fine.
Is that it?
Yes, I don't have any more, Bruce.
Okay, thank you. Now, don't go away. Now, on at least two occasions, Carol has said, I don't want to have a big fuss about this. But and I'll try not to make it such a big fuss. But Carol has let us know some time ago that her plans were going to change and that she was going to make arrangements to move closer to her family. Her children both live on the southern part of the city, and she is presently in the process of selling her home in St Maurice and taking up residence in an apartment at Somerton Park. That means that she has relinquished her leadership roles within Morialta. You have been given an opportunity over recent times to contribute to a gift, a monetary gift for Carol. And in this envelope I have a certificate and information that I will give to Carol, that once she has given me her bank details, a very generous sum of money will be transferred to her to use for all sorts of things that she might like to undertake. We also have a card. Now, I asked Nicole and Helena to see if we could find some photos of Carol doing things around the place. But, of course, Carol is one of those people that's behind the scenes and doesn't get very many photos. But they did find some photos. Now, it is really good to see it in print. What does it say there? It says...
From all your Morialta friends. This is not goodbye, it's see you later.
It's not goodbye, it's see you later. And on the inside, we have the photos, and we have space for you to sign your name, and perhaps if the message is short and your writing is small, for you to write us a message to her.
Keep it short.
We will put this out in the hall over lunch for you to do that.
Thank you, Bruce.
Now, as well as that, we didn't get flowers, we got a plant. We hope that this, when it goes into your apartment at Somerton Park, will be a constant reminder of the love that we have for you, the appreciation that we acknowledge to you for all the work that you've done, not only as treasurer but as elder and all sorts of other things around the church. And we hope that this will grow just as your future grows in your new abode. Can I ask you to show your appreciation? Would you like to say something?
Just a few words. And you know that I'm a weepy person, so forgive me if being here at Morialta has been one of the longest joys of my life. I was not a member of any church until I came to Adelaide. And we started coming here, I think, in about 1986. And this church has seen me through some pretty tough times and some absolutely joyous times. But the joy that I've had being here among you people and everything involved in Morialta is one of the memories that I will treasure forever. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, we also have another acknowledgement that I'll ask Margaret to come and speak to, please.
So I'm here because so many other people who should be making this small speech are busy behind various bits of audio-visual equipment. I would like to present a thank you card to Sam Colgrove for many years of fabulous support to the AV team. Sam, come and get a card.
Now, we hope that the card is an outward sign. We hope that the card is an outward sign, Sam, of our love and care for you as you prepare for a procedure. One of those things that Anne was talking about, a procedure during next week. Be sure of our love and thoughts as you face up for that. Thank you, Sam. Now, they say things come in threes. The third thing is something that I'm not sure that we should celebrate, but I think that it's something that we should appreciate and acknowledge as being a very wise move. Doreen Matheson has been a part of this community for many years. We have enjoyed her participation in the life and business of the congregation, in the life and mission of it as well. But all things come to an end, all good things come to an end, and even better things are around the corner for Doreen. This is her penultimate Sunday at Morialta. She is leaving to move closer to family in the Copper Triangle. Her place of residence will be in Moonta, but she is thinking that she might start going to Kadina Uniting Church, which is the place she grew up in and obviously is an important part of her life. We are going to present her with a lovely cyclamen for her to care for and tend and help her to remember the love and regard that we have for her. We're also going to present her with a quilt that is a way of showing your love to her. Now, Doreen, are you back where you were before? I'm going to come over there. Doreen, here is the cyclamen.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. And I'm going to open the quilt and wrap it around your shoulders so that you can experience the physical and metaphoric warmth of this community to you in your new adventure. There you are.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Now, Doreen, would you like to say something brief?
Yeah, it'll be brief.
Yeah, okay. Have we got a microphone?
I have enjoyed being a part of this congregation. Because we had 5 children, I tended to look after them and so that Bill, my late husband, could do things for the church. He was a accredited lay preacher and, he did other things. So while I didn't do an awful lot, I just kept the children in line, well, tried to, and so that he could do the things. So I sort of take some credit with what he did.
You're the power behind the person. And we want to acknowledge Bill's fantastic involvement, but on this occasion we want to concentrate on you and wish you well for the future.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll be going to
thank you.
Kadina.
Good on you. Oh, I'll give that to you. Thank you. Doreen, here we are.
Oh, thank you.
That's to put the quilt in. And I should say thank you to Judith as she continues to prepare these lovely symbols of our love. What are we up to now? Wider church? Student accommodation. Anne, would you like to come and give a very brief report about student accommodation program?
Yes, once again, we said goodbye to some of the students at the end of last year who've moved on to all sorts of interesting things. And we had 8 in there. One is going in the middle of the year for semester, you might be there for semester 2, and we did have someone coming in, but that's not happening now. So we've got a vacancy for the second half. If you know any students who happen to be starting a course in the middle of the year, please let me know and tell them about the house. The parents always appreciate it, the kids appreciate it. When they move on, they realise, oh, if I've locked myself out, I can't ring Anne at 10 o'clock at night for her to come with a key.
Or 10 o'clock.
So 10 o'clock at night, yep. Anyway, they soon learn that things are different, and they've all said what a great interim step it is from being at home in the country normally, in the rural areas, to coming to town to live, but not having to be completely independent. They've got someone to ring and say, the washing machine isn't working, like happened the other day. Things go pretty smoothly usually, which is very fortunate. We have some lovely girls at the moment. And so we continue on, keeping things going there, but it's been a really good thing, and it's been going for more than 30 years. It's pretty amazing, but it's a good thing that we do. The real estate agent from Boffo said to me, you do realise how much it costs if they go to one of the colleges, and I do, because some of them might have 1 year there where the meals are prepared, and then they think, maybe I'll try and be a bit more independent, and we've had quite a few come in their second year of uni. So, and it is a reduced rate. It's not commercial rate, and they do know that, and they, as I say, the parents really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Anne. Thank you. We are moving through towards the end of the agenda, but there are still a couple of important matters. There are 2 or 3 important matters that we need to share with you. The first being a video presentation and thank you from the Christmas Bowl.
At Christmas, in communities across Australia, churches and individuals came together with a shared commitment to act for peace. The Christmas Bowl saw its 76th year, offering hope and a devotion to helping those facing dire situations. Hello, I'm Andrew, and as the new CEO of Act for Peace, I want to personally say thank you to every congregation, every family, every individual who gave to Christmas Bowl 2025. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your compassion and your faith in action. As Jesus says in Matthew 5, blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Your support means that our many trusted partners are walking alongside communities facing the devastating effects of displacement, conflict, poverty, environmental emergencies, and natural disasters. In places like Gaza, local churches and Christian organisations continue to serve with courage and care in incredibly difficult circumstances. In Zimbabwe and Ethiopia, families are finding safety and support as they rebuild their lives. Through your generosity, hands and feet on the ground are able to welcome, restore dignity, and stand with those who have been uprooted from their homes. Christmas Bowl has always been more than an appeal. It is a shared act of worship, a sign of the church standing together for our shared humanity, a legacy of compassion that spans generations. To the churches who gathered bowls in worship, to those who prayed faithfully, to those who gave quietly and sacrificially, thank you. Your generosity continues to bear fruit, offering comfort to the weary, strength to the vulnerable, and hope to communities longing for peace with justice. May God continue to use your compassion to bring just and enduring peace into our world.
Well done, good and faithful servants. In an effort to respond inclusively to our community, Margaret is going to share with you an initiative that Morialta will be undertaking.
So this is a very early indication of what we are moving towards and hoping will happen soon. We in the Worship and Faith group and council supporting us are very keen for Morialta to be a church that supports people with hidden disabilities. It was noticed that we have at the back of our worship space here what used to be called the crying room when we had lots of crying babies. And now that we don't, we have a space that may be able to be repurposed. We had a very interesting conversation with Anna, am I going to get this name right? Anna Wilson?
Yes.
Who's the Synod Disability Liaison
Disability.
Officer. And she was extremely impressed with our idea. We are in the process of working towards accreditation as a congregation that is accredited. We'll be able to use the sunflower logo. We'll be able to have sunflower signs on our name tags indicating that we are trained and are able to help people with hidden disabilities, and we hope that we'll have a space. We'll curtain a bit, make it a bit more private, but for people who would like to participate but not be surrounded by lots and lots of people. So this is our plan, and this is what we are moving towards. Yeah? And while I'm here, I am going to give you another piece of news from the Worship and Faith group, which is that on the 24th of May, the week after the Lee Newton and Martin Ryder concert, there will be a History Month event here that will gather people up and take them on a local history walk. We have an old cemetery at the back here, which had historical connections with our church, and we have quite a lot of historical stuff around our somewhat old building. And so on the 24th, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll be going on a local history walk, guided, and there'll be wonderful afternoon tea. So that's another date for your diary. Thanks.
Thank you. Just with regard to the sunflower room, you'll be aware that obviously just recently we were a place for pre-polling, and indeed one of the things that the Electoral Commission were very impressed with was the library, which provided us a withdrawal space for people with invisible disabilities to actually undertake their democratic right of voting. There was at least one person who had never ever voted before, but because that room was available for them to use, they could come and actually exercise their right. And I think that's a fantastic thing. It's a fantastic inclusive action that we have already identified and undertaken, and the sunflower room will be an absolutely terrific addition to that. Now, I think that we've got the Colin's invitation. Yes. Now, there are many people in our congregation who have contributed to activities within the wider church. Colin has been for a long time involved in environmental action and social justice, as well as ecumenism. We've asked Colin to come forward and explain what this new role that he has accepted and what was asked to do and has accepted involves. Thank you, Colin.
Thanks, Bruce. Well, I was invited to what turned out to be a reunion, really, of friends who had been involved in various commissions of the South Australian Council of Churches and then Churches Together South Australia. And so the meeting or the gathering was organised by 3 members of the Anglican Church, Peter Malabansky, John Littleton, and my good friend Yogananda Joyce. And we were not there representing our churches, we were there really as friends who have an interest in ecumenical relations. And we represented the Anglican, Catholic, Lutheran, Church of Christ, Quakers and Uniting Church. And there was basically one from each of those denominations. And we don't have any official position, but we all feel that it is sad that South Australia is the only state in Australia that does not have an ecumenical movement. And you've just watched what ecumenical movements are doing. The Act for Peace is run by the Australian Council of Churches. So it's something that all the churches work together, and we feel that's very important. So we've had one meeting, we're planning to have another meeting, and then we are going to have a meeting with the co-leaders of the South Australian heads of churches, which basically sort of took over from Churches Together, but it has no roots going out into the community from that direction. And so our aim would be to hold one ecumenical event a year which would involve all churches. And so watch this space. And because we think that, as Anne, I thought, gave a really good prelude to what I was going to this, is that, you know, if we work together, it is our commonalities that are much bigger than our individual differences. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. We don't want walls anywhere, particularly in heaven. So we pray that your involvement and your engagement with that group will bear fruit and be of benefit to all the churches in South Australia. Thank you very much. I was going to say when Carol was doing her finances, in relation to the batteries, Chris Ailes shared with Council one meeting just recently that particularly during summer and the spring and autumn periods, our batteries were actually providing electricity for church activities up to around about 9 o'clock in the evening. So there is real challenge to get meetings finished by 9 o'clock. We'll see. Talking about finishing meetings, I think we're getting there today. I think that we only have the declaration of the ballot to announce, which, thanks to our scrutineers for tallying the votes, your votes, we have 100% endorsement of those people who were on the ballot. Between now and our next meeting, a congregation meeting, it is likely that Synod will have taken place. Synod is occurring in the last part of June, and congregation members from this congregation, including Beverly Treadray, Anne Ind and me, have been nominated for and will attend Synod. Anne Butler will be a reserve. Her situation changed in between the time when nominations were called and were taken, and she is now available, and hopefully she will be able to attend and participate, as she always does, in this wider church activity. I think that has taken us to the end of the meeting. I'm not aware of any other business, but if there is something that is relevant to and important for Morialta congregation to hear, can I ask you to put a blue card up now, a yellow card up now, and yes, Anne Butler, yes, have we got a micro? Oh, you've got your microphone.
I've got my own microphone.
Yeah.
What power. Two things that didn't come up on the list, things we're doing on Wednesdays. On May the 13th, we're going to host the biggest morning tea, followed by the biggest afternoon tea. So there's no excuse for not coming. You can come twice if you like, stay the whole time. That raises money for the Cancer Council. So we're hoping that we're being seen in the community as people who care about people other than themselves. And for those of you who've been touched by cancer, you know that this is a good cause. So put May 13th in your diary. Then the last Wednesday in May, at the Regal Theatre, they are putting on the Sheep Detectives. And you get the bargain tickets for being old. So we're going on an excursion to the Regal Theatre to see the Sheep Detectives, as mentioned in the service last week. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Hat. And before I declare the meeting closed, there are a number of things that have been mentioned in this meeting. The 17th of May, please invite your friends and your neighbours, your relatives to come to the concert on the 17th. The 24th celebrates History Month. We are having an activity within this area. There is a list of a huge list of other activities for History Month, but the most important one is the one that is being undertaken by Morialta Uniting Church on the 24th of May. Please indicate that. And as Anne has already stressed, the 13th and the 28th of May are also pretty important as well. So please, if you have got a problem with remembering them, write them down on your palm or something like that, and put them in your diary. I think that is the end of the meeting. Anne, would you please give the grace, benediction for the meeting and the grace for those who are staying for lunch?
Certainly. May you be blessed in the food that you consume and the laughter that you share. May you be blessed when you help another. May you be blessed as you live your life for Jesus. Go in peace and make sure you eat all the leftovers. Amen.
Amen. Thanks very much, everybody. Please, could you leave your cards and pens at the door as you leave? We will enjoy lunch together, thanks to the work of Leslie and her team. Thank you.